We speak. Our words. We listen.
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 The open meeting for Autistic Radio and Autistic Association is sponsored by Autistic Jules, because Autistic Radio is a project worth backing and worth encouraging. We have 3 things on the agenda today. The first is about our experiences at the RRN conference in order to encourage the reduction of restraint that happens in all environments, but particularly the environments where people under the care of the state here in the UK. Restraint takes many forms, and they work against inappropriate and unconsidered use of restraint, taking away people's liberty and the responses to that. For us as an autistic group, I have to put straight out there that this was the best involvement that I have in the 5 years of Autistic Radio of being included within a professional conference. We've worked up to this, and the root of this, how we got to have such an inclusive platform at this conference, comes from the support that we were given by Andrew Swartfigger, a man from within the UK Society for Behaviour Analysts. This time last year, we were at another conference, Polycon, and our experience was entirely different. Having made a co-production with the Autism Network, a Scottish small organisation led by Richard Ibbotson, and with the participation of Jim Taylor, of Jim Taylor Knows Autism, we made a presentation there that showed the red flags that autistic groups should be aware of if they are in co-production with non-autistic groups. That was removed from the website of the association. We were also taken away from the agenda, and we can only assume that it was the professionals here in Scotland that made that happen. The contrast of our experience at the conference in Liverpool could not have been starker. It was a golden standard in inclusion for us. So we thank the Bild organisation, and if we get the opportunity to work with them in the future, we will jump at it. Harry, has what I've said reflected the leadership of the Autistic Association? Am I speaking out of turn?
Not at all. I'm totally agreement with you. My personal experience being there with you, I totally agree with everything you've said. And even though I was feeling out of my comfort zone, travelling the distance to Liverpool, the travel and all that down, and being in a different environment for a couple of days, the organisation involved could not have made it any more comfortable and inclusive. And that made it so much more adaptable for me. And a feeling of feeling positive. And I'm still feeling the buzz from it right now. So it was all good. And it felt that it feels like the work and the effort and the travel and all the discussions that we've had, it's all been worth it up to this point. So total agreement. And I thank the RRN and Bild for that as well.
Coming from our involvement, we were contacted at the 2 different workshops that we did many times by different professionals within organisations who are looking to find ways of using the Autistic Radio model within their scope of practice. So we hope that 1 or 2 of those will bear fruit during the next year. An immediate co-production has come that I need to present to the group, and that's with another autistic person who is producing their own podcast, the Danifesto. The gentleman is below the age of 18, and we've been introduced by a lady called Kit from an organisation, and there's a chaperone of Sarah, the mum to Dan. We need to look at our safeguarding policy and make sure that we have the correct policy in place for the communication with this young guy. So I want to propose to the group that we make a very fast amendment to our safeguarding policy that includes communication with people under 18 requiring a chaperone for that communication when it's on video, to give also a copy of that to the person. And if the communication is in audio, a recording, an unedited recording, should be made available to them and their chaperone. And also that we restrict any other text communication to a verifiable communication such as email, which has a traceability, no direct messaging of any kind. So I've drafted a letter to send to Dan today along those lines that I want to have you guys look at and just okay. So I'll send that round to the group before I fully engage with this person. Is that okay with everybody?
Yes, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, I've got a unanimous thumbs up from everyone there, I think. I think, Robbie, you've abstained. The third item, our experience at the Restraint Reduction Network was a co-production where we had Vox Pops with the participants and we made short recordings. The facilitation was so good that we made enough recordings, in my opinion, to actually make a series out of this, of very short, pithy, interesting articles from individuals. I would like the permission of the Autistic Association to add some of our resources to expand upon the co-production and spend an equal amount of resource to the fee that we were offered by the conference organisers, creating a co-production, a sponsored by them co-production of these podcasts and put them out as a series. It will mean that I will be allocating a monetary value from our accounts. So it's important that the board makes a decision on this. Can I have support from the board in this?
You have my support.
Sounds good, Jules.
So I think, Harry, as the chair, we noted that we have a unanimous decision-making there. And I feel really supported by the group in that. Thank you very much. Any other business, guys?
Just in relation to the Facebook message that was sent to yourself, Jules, from a Jeannie Wren. Were you aware of the reply from your initial reply to their inquiry?
No, give it to me. What's happened?
What they've said from your... Will I read out the whole thing or just hold on?
Tracy it if you can, mate.
Okay. They were initially... Jeannie Wren was initially contacted saying that they're writing an essay for their Masters in Inclusive Education and wanted to reference some of the conversation they had with the podcast with Alan Tennyson. And you replied, we both replied, I referred it to yourself because it was just, you were involved, Jules, and you says it was myself that was involved with Autistic Radio, which is part of Autistic Association. We had a conversation with Alan Tennyson. I'd be interested in what you found useful for your work on inclusive education in the podcast. We have a few more with other professionals that might be useful to you. And they responded, hi, thank you, Julian. I am writing about the use of a model called SEERTS, SERTS. The school I teach in has started using it. It is designed to improve social communication skills and emotional regulation skills for autistic children. I am interested in the process of setting goals for others. I am uncomfortable with the fact that the children are not involved in the process of setting their own goals, and that research and science has decided what needs to be improved. Your podcast was really helpful as it discussed this. I particularly was interested in the asymmetry of power it creates. What's your thoughts?
I think beyond the meeting, we just need to note that this person is inquiring and finding what we do useful, and any discussions with them probably are beyond this meeting at the moment.
So I'm happy with this. I just found it a good opportunity to raise it since it was a recent correspondence.
We'll follow it up. Anybody else?
Looks like I know my business.
The open meeting of Autistic Radio and Autistic Association will appear on our website most weeks. Be 10 minutes. Thank you for listening.